It's everybody's word against yours.
That's okay. I completely understand. The truth will prevail.
It's everybody's word against yours. It's everybody's word against yours.
That's okay. I completely understand.
It's everybody's word against yours.
That's okay. I completely understand. The truth will prevail.
It's everybody's word against yours.
That's okay. I completely understand. I completely understand.
It's everybody's word against yours.
That's okay. I completely understand.
It's everybody's word against yours.
That's okay. I completely understand.
It's everybody's word against yours.
That's okay. I completely understand. The truth will prevail.
It's everybody's word against yours.
That's okay. I completely understand. I completely understand.
It's everybody's word against yours.
That's okay. I completely understand.
May 29th, 2026, 9:36 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is 99. So I'm so excited that we're finally in the new era, like completely freaking elbows deep up in it. I'm even more excited that my son basically just gave me permission to rip the Band-Aid off. And I've been waiting for it. And I've been seeing little signs. Like when I said that, it was 43 seconds into the recording, which is 7, right? When I've been seeing signs and signs and signs, and I'll just be like, no, it's not ready. No, we're not ready. And then I'm watching something on TV about how allegedly, right, because everything's alleged until they say it's not, they have 4 different species of UFO, and in my head I'm like, no, there's at least 6, but okay. And then this guy's just talking, and he's like, well, I hope the president rips the Band-Aid off. And then, of course, I'm all excited and in my head, because you know what that means. We don't have to play pretend. And I go and I run to my son, and I'm like, hey, do you think? And my son came right at me and just said exactly what I needed to hear. And here it is. Let's rip off the Band-Aid. So the trailer for my season 2 is a recording of an individual who had unlawfully forced my business closed. And then, on top of that, decided to force me into inapplicable, in my standards, a business license application process that she then proceeded to manipulate and change requirements each application process, wasting my time, my money, my efforts. And the video of the trailer is basically, it's everybody's word against yours. And I respond to her truthfully, genuinely. It is okay, because I do understand. So I do understand. I understand their side. I understand the other side. I understand my side. I know what it's like to be the black race, the white race, the Spanish race. You know, I never ever saw race until my daughter, kept pointing out the mistreatment and the bias. And, you know, I still cannot see racism the way that everybody else does. My kids have to constantly call it out, or I have to see it online, because not that I'm ignorant, but I see all sides. I see all arguments. I see all frustrations. I'm pretty confident I definitely can relate to all aspects. And the reason why I'm bringing this up is because there's something called divide and conquer, or Kansas City, Shuffle thing from that movie Slevin or something like that. where they distract you with something while they're doing something right in your face, right? Like, pay attention, but don't pay too close attention. Almost like a magic trick. Now, the biggest magic trick for me growing up was watching WWE as it was known for, right? Like the real WWE for me was wrestling. I know that they had to change the name. That's crazy. I wouldn't have allowed it, but whatever. That was the biggest Kansas City shuffle, or the biggest what do you call that when somebody pulls one over you? Or like the manipulation. Think about it. As a child, I would watch that show and actually believe the hype. I thought there was no way in hell that shit was staged, because the blood looked real, everything looked real, which I'm sure it was, but the storyline, the drama was exaggerated. It was orchestrated in such a aggressive manner. You had no choice but to believe it was real until you were old enough to recognize it wasn't. Now we have to go through that same transitional state on an energetic level, i.e., we're in a new era. We no longer vibrate on the third dimension. We're collectively all in the fifth dimension. And you can consider the fourth dimension more like an elevator or an escalator or a means of transportation between different realms, different dimensions, right? It's like a almost instant type highway. It's where you astral travel, pretty much, almost, because you can go everywhere with it, but think of it like that. Now, the best thing about everything I have been awakened to is, one, we have the current president we have who loves reality TV, and two, the person from WWF, I'm pretty sure, goes hand in hand with this individual, or at least at some point did. So the same plot, the same, oh my God, it's so lifelike, you have to believe this bullshit is fucking real, now overlaps with our government. Right? Think about this. Overlap it. You're born. You're immediately injected with foreign things instead of your body naturally building an immunity over time based on the environment that you are naturally exposed to. Instead, we immediately inject you with certain things, and sorry but not sorry, in my energetic experience, I do believe autism, peanut allergies, all that bullshit stems from vaccinations. But that's just my opinion, and it's not supported. So you're born, you're immediately injected, given a serial number, given paperwork, and then you are instantly under governing laws. And you have absolutely no choice in whether or not you want to participate in these laws. Their says are, if you don't like it, go to another country. But this is where you're born. This is where you're from. This is the land of your elders, your ancestors, those who come before verbal language. And yet you're told to get the fuck out if you don't like it. And that's fine. I don't challenge my government. I know they serve a very, very important purpose. But let's rip the Band-Aid off. The minute you're born, you're under or required to follow laws. You're applicable to laws. You're expected to proceed in accordance with society's standards at the bare minimum. You're then forced to learn a verbal language because it is considered abnormal to not speak a verbal language, even though our elders, our ancestors never spoke verbal language. And then you're required to attend school until you're considered an adult age, which means when your mind is the most impressionable, you are being trained by society standards how to think and process information as per their instruction. And then they study the shit out of you, test you, expose you to holy shit, that's so lifelike, there's no way that shit's not fucking real situations, to see how you react and process information. And then those real situations actually start unfolding because monkey see, fucking monkey do. And we react, and they study our reactions. They study our responses, our states of existing and being, and the consequences and the long-term effects. They watch and compile statistics, and then they use those same statistics to see how marketing influences our buying habits, right? Anchor, what is it? Anchor marketing or something like that. I'm so sorry. I'm terrible right now. The anchor strategy. I was studying schoolwork, and obviously, and one of the things that we were talking about was how a specific brand of a tablet came out, and the brains, or the face of the brains, or the brains that employed the brains who put everything together, was like, this costs X amount of dollars. 9:48 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It costs X amount of dollars for this device, but I'm going to give it to you for this much money. And how statistics and studies show, by doing that, you put the consumer into this, oh my God, I have to buy it because it's on sale and I have to have it. It's the newest. And oh my God, kind of like what they do when the new cell phone comes out every single fucking year. And how coincidentally the batteries just die and you can't even fucking replace them. So you're kind of screwed one way or another, which makes you have to go buy the storage. It's just a fucking trickle down effect. But the bottom line is, they know how to market and target you because they know how your brain processes information, because they've done all the studies and research and compiled the knowledge together and give it to businesses and marketing agencies, and you learn all about it in training. It's in your college books. They teach you how to mentally push the consumer into running into the stores to spend their money. The money that they just busted their ass paying, like, to earn. The money that they know needs to pay their goddamn bills. But because they watch that infomercial, their brain kicks into gear and they're like, oh my fucking God, I have to have this. Because we're also taught to give a fudge how other people see us, which is insane. That right there is a personal, internal entrapment to actually care what somebody else thinks about you. Like, you're home by yourself in that bed at night. They're not there with you. So why do you care what they think about you? Only the person on the side of you should have an influence on the way that you see yourself and the things going on in your life, right? Only the people in your home, your immediate life, should actually matter to that scale, to that degree, on that level. But whatever. So you're forced to go to school. You're forced to break down and receive information based on how they want you to. If they say something is the color yellow, you have to agree with them because they're right. And if you don't adhere, you apply, you go to juvenile court. Your parents can get in trouble legally because the minute you're born, you're applicable to these laws, these requirements, these obligations. But the craziest part is you got the core classes of math, science, history, and English language, right? Like English literature. You don't have judicial fundamentals. There's no core class that makes sure you 1000% understand the law that you are applicable to the minute you come into this world. You're in school learning, but Kansas City Shuffle, you're learning the wrong shit. What the hell do you need to have your history under your belt for when we all know that shit is fucking embellishments in the first place? They say X amount of people were exiled, X amount of people were murdered, X amount of people were included in the Holocaust. And in all actuality, it's probably 5 times that fucking amount and then some. They water everything down. They only let you see other people's dirt to the serious degree. They never show their hands when they're the ones throwing the stones. So why waste our time studying this shit when it's only your worldview and not the actual worldview? Why don't we have a judicial class from kindergarten all the way through? Do you really think life would be as it is? Black Lives Matter, enough is enough. Do you really think these topics would even exist if we were empowering and educating the way that we need to be, since we're doing this to our people in the first place? You want to control how they think, but you don't want to empower them to check you when you're fucking wrong. You know, the conspiracy theories of living in the Matrix and artificial and simulated realities is not fake. Your artificial simulated reality is you're born, you're serialized, tracked, and you're trained, you're controlled. You're then taught a religion that is not the oldest religion or faith in this world. It is not the only worldview, but for some reason it's in the government, the same government who makes you applicable to laws, but will not make sure you comprehend them the way they make you comprehend science, math, English literature, and bullshit ass fucking history. Sorry, not sorry, but please forgive me. I am channeling, which means I am zero filter. Zero. So after you go through college, then you have this decision if whether or not you want to spend the money to learn the judicial system, because it's such a complicated language that it loopholes and traps you like a game of chess. And they know this and they do this on purpose because fuck you if you check the fucking government. Sorry, not sorry. I do respect my, authority, but I am going to come clean and let you know. Rip the fucking Band-Aid off, right? My son said I could. And then it gets even better. So this religion, this faith, and please forgive me because I'm not shitting on anything that anybody has going in their lives, and I am so fucking not sorry, but I'm about to let you know a few things. That's just one worldview. And that whole story about how the ocean got split up so we can have a path, that's the same story as Hatash and Mari too. And before Hatash and Mari, it was Inna, Inanna, I believe. Whenever I tap into that energy, it's just like a hum kind of sound. It's not even a name, but that's the name that we have. And then if you really want to get deep, the way I feel it through, I feel like Mari, Hatash, and Inna are all the same. And if you really want to go deeper, I think they're the same as the entities that predate the entities that even spoke verbal communication or even have a name. And that's another thing that drives me fucking crazy is how could you believe that the start of life, their names would be Adam and Eve? Are you fucking insane? Especially when we know the first walkers of our entire region, area, anywhere, are indigenous. Do any of them use words like Adam and Eve? No, they say sky, they say blue, they say cloud walker. They use the craziest, most organic, pure, not societal terms. It would never, in any possible dimension, realm, be Adam, Eve, or fucking Lucy. That is the most bizarre thing that you could ever fucking jam down somebody's throat, and they actually swallow it and believe it, and that's when you're stuck. That's that whole Matrix bullshit. That's like you wide awake, the information is right smack in front of you because they just slapped the word myth on everything that they want you to think isn't true, and you believe it because that's the way you're trained to think when you're going through the years of school, right? So the stories in the Bible are actually duplications of stories that are just as credible through other worldviews, such as Basque Country, Mari, Hatash. And then if you want to go older, you can step into Inanna. Excuse me, I'm being corrected. Inanna. Yamoja. Gaia, right? Selene. It's always a woman who keeps coming through. And if you really focus on Hatash and Mari, both of which created pathways for people to come to the mainland because it was overpopulated where they were. It was too much. Shh. Do your own research. Pick your head up out of a book. That can't possibly be true if it mirrors a lot of stories that come from other worldviews much older and just as credible foundation as what you're reading in a book. I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm just asking you to look at us, right? We do remixes of music. We redo movies over and over and over again with different characters and different settings and different time frames. So we have people who told stories in their own worldview for their own agenda, because we all know the original foundation, while it might not be this way right now, it might not be their current truth. Initially, you were murdered if you were not forced into following this faith, this religion. You were burned if you spoke up against it. The numbers are unlimited to how many people have died. So the creation of this version of the truth could be founded, supported, and thrive. We know this. It's in our history. We know the foundation of the church was murder everybody around you who won't turn, convert, and agree with you. Who won't say, my God doesn't exist, but yours is true. Think about slavery, how they had to overlap the Christian and the Christian gods with their gods because they knew it was the same gods and their shit was stolen. Your God mirrors my God. My God was here first. You stole our history, rewrote it to accommodate you. And we know this. We just call it mythology because we don't want you to know the truth, even though we're giving it to you. Even though there's books already in the bookstore, like the Encyclopedia of Spirits. Books everywhere. Book of Enoch. And so many more. And they all tell you this. But because you were trained to think and break down information in certain manners, you dismiss it as it's bullshit because in God we trust. It's written on our money. It's everywhere. It's the foundation of this country, even though we know it's not the original way that life was created. It's not the original faith. It wasn't considered true to many other people, and that's why they were murdered. We know this. We have people who have oral conversations. We had people who survived slavery who said this. We have credible evidence to support this. Yet we dismiss it like it's not true. There's your artificial simulated reality. There's your matrix. Now for player 1, player 2, the government fucking knows this. The select group of individuals who call a lot of fucking shots already know this. And they sit back and they continue to allow you to live in this artificial reality of thinking that this is all there is to life. You stand on it. People have murdered for it. People have committed suicide over it. People have missed out on beautiful relationships and connections because of it. Family has broken up because of it. It's fucking Sims, bro. It's fucking Sims. They control you from the minute you're born. They only give you the information they want you to have. They have the power to create and dilute inflation. Yeah. They can stop inflation within just signing like 2 fucking signatures and buying this and releasing that. They have the power to stop inflation and they choose not to. That's player 1, player 2. And you're the artificial people in the simulated game of fucking society. And then the awoken motherfuckers are the ones who are looking at you like, how the fuck? Don't you see what they do? Divide and conquer. Divide and conquer. Think about that. Divide and conquer. You have red house, blue house. Well, why don't we just have one purple house? Why don't we have one body of government presenting us with all the situations going on around us and all of the plausible solutions that are before us and allowing us to all vote independently towards these decisions without needing any independent one person running shit? I'm sorry, why do I need a fucking president for? You technically have to respond to Congress anyway, so what the fuck do you need your job for? Why can't we just have one panel of voted in individuals, not grandfathered in and, selected, but actually elected by the people, i.e. Congress, Present us the motherfucking problems and let us all vote on it independently as one body, as one fucking nation, as the United States of America. Because that's how you make America great again. You reunite us instead of dividing us and conquering the living shit out of us. Picking and choosing who you tax the fuck out of. When we all know the government by now could have 1000% been financially fucking independent, providing us fucking support by investing in the community the same way people invest every single day. By opening those mom and pop shops and the training schools and putting everybody to work and balancing everything out instead of needing to be in control of everything and manipulating everybody. Divide and conquer. Racism. Blue lives, black lives. Divide and conquer. Kansas City shuffle. You had people in Hong Kong and China, the same. You had people protesting peacefully and getting their demands met, and people worldwide listening and watching and supporting and noticing. Holy shit, they're actually being heard. This is impacting lives. We're standing the fuck up. And then here comes COVID-19. Within days of their final, most biggest demands being met. Because if one group of people can demand equality and fairness from their government, then all groups of people can achieve this. And now, why would we fucking want that? We know who God is. God is a woman who is completely balanced between feminine and masculine. We know God has no name, but has reincarnated, and throughout the many, many reincarnations, has been given names through their reincarnations, because as people ascend and grow and develop and mature and get influenced by each other, evolve, planetary shifts and alignments impact the way our brains function. When we're not influenced and distracted by nonsense, we are so high vibrational and thinking clearly that there are no obstacles that we need to focus on. Everything just flows naturally because everything is clean. You're functioning and utilizing all parts of your brain because we recognize that that's a giant fucking muscle. And with no distractions or anything to make us fucking lazy, we're flexing with that bitch. And you know it gets even better? We live longer. We're healthier. Because we understand and comprehend that the things that make life easier and more convenient for us also will kill us. So while I love society and I love the new age and I love where we are in life, we are in a new era.